right, today we're going to be covering lesson 34-2, comparing models. We will split this lesson into 3 separate sections. Questions 1 to 5, question 6, questions 7 and 9. Number 1, rewrite the function you found for Gina, Kim, and Cheyenne in lesson 34-1. And these were located in last lesson, question number 3. I'm just going to simply copy these 3 functions over. So Jenna was y equals 5x plus 31.75. Cheyenne was y equals 1.136 times 1.964 to the x power. And the last one for Kim is y equals negative 2.048 x squared plus 18.929 x minus 0.714. So remember, those were linear, quadratic, and exponential. Well, actually, it was linear, exponential, and then quadratic. Which of the 3 girls, Jenna, Kim, or Cheyenne, has a constant rate of change in her number of followers per month, and explain? Who has a constant rate of change? Means that it increases at the same amount each time. Remember that a constant rate of change can be found in functions that increase or decrease by the same amount each time. And in this case, that would be Jenna, who has a linear function. Jenna's data is linear. And her constant rate of change is 5. The increase of followers per month. Which girl has the greatest number of followers initially? Justify your response using both the function and the graph. Initially. Well, let's look at it just using the graphs. Okay, we had Jenna's followers. She's a little bit over, these are counting by 10, so she's a little over 30. Let's take a look. Cheyenne was right at about the 1 mark, and Kim's was right at about the 0 mark. So, initially, based on just the graphs, Jenna had the most followers to begin with. Jenna's y-intercept on the graphs was the highest. Now, if I'm looking at the equations, remember we're talking about y-intercepts? And we know that y-intercept is where x is the value of 0. If you plug x equal to 0 in each of the functions above, Jenna results in the highest y. Because she would be 31.75. Here we would have 1.136. And here we would have had a negative 0.714. So almost close to 0. Did any of the girls experience followers who unsubscribed from or stopped following their photo story? And explain how you know. So if I'm looking at the graphs, did Jenna lose any of her followers along the way? No, she's steadily rising. Her followers keep increasing, right? What about Cheyenne? As the number of months go by, her followers just keep going up, right? But look at Kim's data. Kim's data, she increases in followers, and then all of a sudden, her followers start to decrease. So did anybody have people unsubscribe? Yes. Kim's number of followers increased and then started to decrease, which is that part where they unsubscribed. Number 5. Which girl's photo story gained the most followers over the 8 months? Justify your responses using the function or the graphs. Who gained the most followers over the 8 months? Okay. Well, if you recall, Jenna started with right at about 30, and at the end of the 8-month period, she's at about 70. So over the course of the 8 months, she gained about 40 followers. So I'm going to make a note of that. Jenna gained roughly 40 followers. From 0 to 8. Okay. Let's take a look at Cheyenne. Cheyenne started out with about 1 follower. And by month 8, she's sitting at about, well, this is 250, that's 300. So maybe close to about the 250 mark. And then let's take a look at Kim's data. Kim starts at about 0, and she ends at about, in 8 months, she's at probably about the 19, 20 mark. So from 0 to 20, that's only about 20 people. Kim gained and then lost about 20 followers from 0 to 8. Okay, so who gained the most followers over the course of that time? Definitely Cheyenne. Go ahead and take a moment to get all of question 1 through 5 copied down. There will be a debriefing slide on the question on the next slide.